Good evening, guys. So I just did a video and I rushed through like I would be telling my mum what's coming, and I kind of didn't go into depth about things that are happening. In this video, what I want to do is I want to go a little bit deeper, take a little bit more time and explain why I think this Friday is going to be a key. It's going to be a key day. I think it's for this. For whatever's going to happen, I think this Friday is kind of going to be one of those now or never days. Now, I'll give you the reasons why I say that. First of all, if you've been watching my videos, especially the one with Andrew Bridgen, and I talked about this Andrew Bridgen interview that he did. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Bridgen was a UK member of Parliament. He's done a lot of videos, and one of the videos he did, he said that, he thinks that war will be declared, that it will get declared. He said, what did he say? July, August, maybe a little bit later. And what I said is, okay, that sounds about right. But what I said was, I think it will happen early August when the kids have gone to school. Now, why did I say that? I guess it's Murphy's Law. When something can happen, it will happen. If it can't happen, it won't. In the sense that summer holidays, you've got all the politicians, they'll all be on holiday, and it's very difficult to call people back. Now, okay, the Prime Minister, he can call people back for emergency meetings, that's fine. But their staff, so for just an example, the Defence Minister, will the Defence Minister be able to call all his staff back to give him all the information that he needs? What about the Health Minister? Will they be able to call all their staff back and give them the information that they need? So you've got this huge network in August of people just not in the country, people away from the desk. Kids are off school. People, generally, it's harder to deal. It's nothing controversial. It's harder to deal with things when there's nobody in work. So that's the first reason. The second reason is we've said that this needs to happen. Whatever's happening, it needs to happen before the US election. And right now, what I see has happened as a catalyst is these protests, these riots, this civil disobedience, whatever you want to call it, the stuff that's happening in the United Kingdom at the moment, that's kind of a catalyst, because if this calms down in the UK, then it'll be easier for the United Kingdom then to assist whatever country doing X, Y, or Z. Now, as a backdrop to this, we've got the Ukrainians now flying F-16 in and around Ukraine, potentially doing offensive strikes into Russia. We've got the absolute volatility in the stock market. And that's what happens, because when a recession happens, the initial pull, people buy back in again low, and then when everybody thinks the market's coming back, they sell again. So the stock market is really volatile at the moment. If and again, I'm not qualified to give anyone financial advice. Go and get, a competent financial advisor. So all of this is the backdrop to what's happening. So that's already, that's happening in the background. So what's happening now and what's going to be happening in the future? Well, in the UK, there are more protests planned. There are protests, counter-protests, all sorts of stuff. The thing that's, for me anyway, the thing that I've never seen before is such a wide array of protests. Now, I heard today that there were 39 protests planned for tomorrow. That's absolutely insane. You can imagine the amount of people that are going to be involved in these protests. It's just absolutely insane. I've told everybody I know, I've said, look, you know what, just stay in the house, make sure you don't go out, try and just, avoid large groups of people. Now, yesterday, the Iranians came out, I think it was yesterday, and gave a NOTAM, which is a notice to airmen. It's basically, they told aircraft to avoid the Iranian airspace. Everybody knows that there's going to be a response from the Iranians as an attack to the Israelis. Now, if you remember when the Iranians last attacked Iran, and again, that was in response to an Israeli strike on a Syrian embassy, guys, and we can go, who did this and who did that, and at the moment, we're at a stage where the chessboards are set, and it kind of doesn't matter who threw the first punch, because this is where we are at the moment. We just need to understand what's happening now. So the last time the Iranians attacked the Israelis, they notified everyone. They told the Brits, they told the Israelis, obviously, they told the Americans, I think they told the French. And what this did, it gave the Israelis allies chance to get up in the air and to intercept a lot of these incoming missiles. Now, the allies who defended that airspace, they claimed that this was because they didn't want a large response back from the Israelis, and they were trying to calm things down and, you know, have peace. Now, what you've seen in the rhetoric coming out of Iran at the moment, I don't think that they're going to pre-warn people anymore. I think they're just going to strike. And if that happens, what you could get overnight is an all-out war. You know, you've got the Houthis who've been relatively quiet for, you know, a while. You've got Hamas, you've got Hezbollah. Literally, Israel is surrounded. Now, if everyone attacks Israel at once, I don't think the Israelis could repel a full attack on all sides on such a scale. Are they planning that? Will they plan that? Will that happen? I don't know. But what I do know is whatever's coming, my analysis, my speculation, my opinion would be that it's going to come this Friday. And like I said on my last video, I don't think we're going to get to Monday until and be in the same situation we are now, in a world of, well, not even relative peace. I think, you know, the huge escalations are going to come potentially this Friday. Now, you've got to look at the other options for the Iranians. They've already mentioned the bases in Cyprus. They've already mentioned the US warships that are all over that region. They've already said they can close the Strait of Hormuz. 20%, well, some estimates are that 20% of the world's oil moves through the Strait of Hormuz, which is, you know, the Iranians can close that off. And on my other platform, after the October the 7th attack, I said, that it was the first thing I said. I said, right, if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, you can expect oil prices to rocket. And there was lots of people saying, oh, you know, the US have got a strike group there, you know, there's a US strike group with aircraft carriers. I was like, guys, you know, it doesn't matter. They're ships. Ships sink. You can't sink a country, you know. And I got a bit of pushback, and then the Houthis. And then you started seeing the Houthis, like, closing the shipping lane down. And then people were like, oh, well, yeah. Maybe if you are on land, you do have an advantage against the ship. Yes, of course you do. You know, it goes without saying. So that's the situation at the moment. You know, we've got all these, it's just a tinderbox in the Middle East at the moment. So you've got Cyprus, you've got Strait of Hormuz, you've got the US warships. All these things are targets. Not just targets, but they're targets in strategic shipping lanes. So if this goes, you can pretty much see an end to shipping. Shipping will just stop overnight. There'll be none. Obviously, we won't feel that for 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 months. But all shipping will literally stop overnight. Oil, oil, I would normally say that the price of oil would rocket, but for some reason, it's not gone up at the moment. It should be a lot higher than it is. I genuinely don't know why the price of oil is kept as low as it is, even though that sounds ridiculous with the price of it at the forecourt. So that's just in the Middle East, what could be happening. Now, the reason I think this Friday is because of the momentum with these protests in the United Kingdom. Now, it seems like, well, I'll put these links in the description as well, guys. So UK riots live. Prime Minister Starmer to chair emergency Cobra meeting amid fears violence at immigration centres. Keir Starmer will chair another emergency Cobra meeting this evening, so today, as police prepare for more far-right riots tomorrow. See, this is what's annoying people here. I wish I'd have got the shared screen on. So let me read that again, guys. So Keir Starmer will chair another Cobra meeting this evening as police prepare for more far-right riots. This is what's annoying normal, rank-and-file, everyday people who get up in the morning, they go to work, they pay their taxes, and they just want to be left alone. That's what people want. You know, that's what you know, and obviously look after your children. You know, that's what I want. That's what most people I know want. But the problem is, we're getting Keir Starmer saying things like this, you know, as police prepare to crack down on more far-right riots. And then we're looking online and we're looking at things and we're thinking, oh, they're not far-right riots. They're actually people of another demographic and they're smashing things up and doing X, Y, and Z. Now, I can see that with my own eyes because I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at this now from about 6 or 7 different people who are all live streaming the same incident from different angles. And then Keir Starmer's saying, we'll chair another emergency Cobra meeting because of the far right riots tomorrow. So it's just making things worse because people can blatantly see that he's lying. I'm speculating he's lying, that's my opinion, guys. You know, I have to say these things because there's keywords that, you know, trash me down. Anyway, so that's the, you know, that's the reality of the situation in the United Kingdom at the moment. So you see the duality of the reporting. And then we've got Elon Musk. Guys, I saw his first post earlier on today. Now he has gone, guys, he's gone Old Testament on Keir Starmer. He's been, guys, the things that he's posting, and he's just like, if you're on X, you'll know what I'm talking about. In fact, I need to join X actually. I've not got a Real Raven 1 account. So on X, he's been putting, you know, he's been sharing news articles about things that have happened in the United Kingdom, for example, things that have happened in Rotherham, you know, and he's been saying, tagging at Keir Starmer, you know, is this still happening? You know, I think he's been putting like asking for a friend or something, and then he's been putting, you know, he shared another post, and it's got a picture of a guy who's done, I think, 15 months in jail for printing off racist. I think this video is going to get demonetized. I think, yeah, sorry, demonetization. Right, so somebody's been sent to prison for 15 months for printing stickers off. Another person's been sent to prison for 14 weeks for, what was it, a sharing a post or something. And then you've got another guy who did something to a 12-year-old girl, and he got like 150 hours community service. So you see, all this information is being fed to us now. We all, you know, you can see it all out there, and you can see all that information there in front of you. And then the government and Keir Starmer, they're saying another thing, and that's what's really driving people and getting people so angry. That feeling of helplessness. You know, and it's just absolutely insane, and that's why it's not going to go anywhere. And, you know, sorry, pulling this back to geopolitical events. Now, but you're going to get, you know, you're going to have people from all different aspects, walks of life, with different agendas, trying to fan whatever flame and cause division. And that's the name of this game, guys. All right, divide and conquer. I've talked about divide and conquer, you know, such a lot, and talked about it in lots of different aspects. So yeah, let me just read this, guys, and I'll put the link in the description. Elon Musk brands Starmer he said two-tier Kia, and asks, is this Britain or the Soviet Union or the Facebook comment arrest video? Yeah, that's another one. Guys, Elon Musk's been going wild. You know, yeah, well, he can say what he wants. You know, there was another video where somebody's getting arrested because of a post they did on Facebook, and you're like, is this real? Is this a joke? You know, and again, I don't know what the post was. I don't know what it was about, but, you know, that's what Elon Musk's posted. The billionaire owner of X posts the hashtag two-tier Kia about the Prime Minister in reference to two-tier policing. And that's what drove, like, my friend, you know, he's like a really liberal guy, and when I'm having to calm him down and say, oh, dude, you know, that's a bit unfair, you know, it's really telling how divided society is at the moment. And it's when these people who, like I said, you know, go to work every day, 9 till 5, they come back, they pay their taxes, they want to go out for a drink at the weekend, and they want to go on holiday and enjoy their life with their family. When those people get off the seats and say, no, I'm not having it, you know, I'm not having this, I'm done with this, that is when it's a real problem. And they're talking about this two-tier system because, you know, I think it was that day when Keir Starmer came out and he said, and somebody asked him about, Keir Starmer, is there a two-tier policing system? And he said like, he gave a perfect, like, what was the answer? The perfectly recited answer. There is no, what did he say? There is no two-tier policing. We have policing without fear and justice at all costs. Or something, you know, just ridiculous. But, you know, and then we're seeing on the streets, in reality, in real time, what's happening. And we're just thinking, what? But anyway, guys, so two-tier policing, a claim often used by the far right, again, this, you know, far right, everybody's far right now, to suggest that police treat certain groups of people in different ways. Elon Musk ramped up his row with the UK as he branded the Prime Minister two-tier Kia, and questioned if it was Britain or the Soviet Union after a man was apparently arrested over Facebook comments. The billionaire owner of X has been engaged in a war of words with Keir Starmer over the riots gripping the UK amid concerns online disinformation is fueling the unrest. Yeah, and he just goes on, and I'll put the I'll put the link in the description to this, guys. But you know, that is, you know, we've got all this stuff happening at the moment, and like I said in my last video, guys, all right, I think the crescendo is going to come this Friday. You know, all the data points are heading towards it. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. Does it mean that I think it is? Yes. Now, I'm telling you this because it's what I think. Whatever you guys do with that information is up to you. But look at the information yourself. Remember what we say. Things normally happen on a Friday. Look at the volatility in the stock market. People will either make a lot of money or lose a lot of money, depending on what they know. Guys, just make sure you get your family and you know, I'm not talking about your family in the context of your immediate family. I'm talking about your nans, your nans, grands, aunts, people who don't really watch the news, you know, just go about their bye to bye. Because imagine one of your elderly family or somebody who's vulnerable in your family stuck in their house, or even worse, they don't know what's going on and they go out to the shop and one of these riots is just erupting outside. You know, you can imagine. So just make sure people have got daft things like tea bags, milk, sugar, coffee, water, all the rest of it. You know, if you've got, like I said to my mum, you know, she's got one of those gas stoves. I make sure she's got extra gas just in case the gas goes off or whatever happens. Because again, you know, we could have a huge sabotage attack. These things are not off the cards, guys, all right? And all these things, as they're moving forwards into this cauldron of chaos, I think this Friday is going to be the crescendo. You know, we could well see, you know, coordinated sabotage this Friday. Does that mean it's going to happen? Again, no, it doesn't. Nothing's certain in this world, but all these things were pointing towards this direction. All these tensions in the Middle East, all this tension in the United Kingdom, it seems to me like it's all going to come to a crescendo this Friday. And if not this Friday, guys, things have changed now in the United Kingdom and nobody's going back to the way they were. There's too much pain on the streets. Whatever community you're in, there's too much pain now on the streets. There's too much. Too much has already been done, and you know, the start of this riot was guys. I can't even talk about why these riots started. You know, me and Sarah have two little girls, and you know they're 10 and 11-year-old, and they dance to Taylor Swift songs, and they're always listening to Taylor Swift, and they always dance and do little videos in the house. And this, guys, I'm not going to get into that incident because honestly, I still don't think I'm emotionally equipped to talk about it. But yeah, I think it's coming this Friday, guys. Just make sure you and your family are ready, you're safe, you've got what you need to sit it out, to ride things out, to go home and be able to wait until the weekend. Because guys, let's not forget as well, the military on the street is a real option. I should actually do a specific video about that myself. How the military would be different to the policing. But anyway, guys, I'll speak to you guys later. I'm going to mag to grid.